Hi. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use my color grading workflow in Blender 5.0. Where did this idea come from? Most tutorials show a random set of nodes. You connect them and pray for a good result. I needed a system, something that allows me to consistently achieve high quality, modeled after DaVinci Resolve standards, but without leaving Blender. It worked, so now I'm handing this tool over to you. A quick disclaimer, this is an instructional video on how to use the tool. I won't explain the theory behind every single slider or we'd be here for 2 hours. The workflow includes free nodes from user Selman from his Easy Photorealism pack. They are already in my file, but I highly recommend checking out his full add-on, link in the description. Take a look at my work, Lost in Autumn Silence. This is what it looks like after grading, and this is the raw render. Let's do this from scratch now. Before we start, the fundamentals. In performance settings, make sure the compositor is set to use the GPU. In color management, set the view transform to AgX. Now the import. Download the file from Gumroad, go to File, Append, the node tree folder, and select the group Template to post. Add it in the compositor and plug it into the pipeline. Pro tip. Before you start tweaking, wait for the viewport render to reach, say, 32 or 128 samples and hit pause. This gives us a freeze frame that doesn't tax the computer, making the compositor run instantly. Let's go inside the group. We have 6 numbered steps here. The tile layout results from the technical processing order, but you should always follow the numbers. First step 1, then step 2. The system is flexible. You can always go back. We start with exposure in step 1. The default is 2.0. I'll bump it up slightly here with Shift to recover some light. Next to it is contrast. This node mirrors the logic from DaVinci Resolve. Everything happens here in AgX log space, which is why the pivot is set for that space. If you prefer Filmic, you must change the pivot to the value written in the node and remember to switch AgX log to Filmic log inside the group. Moving on to step 2, balance. This isn't just about white balance, but color separation. I use the slope wheel. I like to push a stronger color here, for example, making it warmer and then drag the factor slider down to get a subtle effect. Step 3 is saturation. This is my custom node inspired by the color boost function. We have vibrance density. Note, to increase saturation and density, move the slider to the left, meaning lower the value. I throw in a bit of global saturation, but be careful, it's easy to overdo it. Step 4, power windows. This is key to the cinematic look. We guide the viewer's eye. The workflow is simple. Duplicate the power window group and click the little number 2 next to the name to get a clean copy. Plug it into the pipeline. Inside, lower the gamma drastically to see the mask. This mask is pulled from the vignette effect in Blender 5.0. It's super efficient because it doesn't use heavy blur. Align the mask with the light direction, restore gamma, and now gently darken everything outside the mask. This way, we turn on the light in the scene. I do the same for the bottom left corner, darkening irrelevant background, and a third time for the opposite corner. Finally, I use gain to brighten the character and pull them out of the shadow. Now we know exactly where the light is coming from and where to look. Important note, because of darkening the background with masks, the whole image might have lost some brightness. So at this point, I briefly go back to step 1, exposure, and lift it slightly to compensate. Here is before power windows, and here is after. Step 5 is secondaries. This is where the artistic magic happens. I recreated the parallel mixer from DaVinci here with 6 slots. This way, effects blend in parallel. What do we have here? Color balance, creating a classic teal and orange. Shadows cool, highlights warm. Split toning, this is a new effect from Blender 5.0. It doesn't like working in log, so you have to drastically lower the mix values to make it look good. Next, tonal range from Selman, which lets me, for example, dim just the highlights on the leaves. And finally, mix color in lighten mode. This is my favorite trick. I give the shadows a slight blue tint so they aren't pitch black. Here is before secondaries, and here is after. The last step is texture. We divide this into linear and log. In linear, meaning light physics, I have halation, glare, and chromatic aberration at a very low value. In log, meaning film stock simulation, I have sharpen from Selman and noise, which is grain. This damaging of the image makes the render stop looking like plastic. At the very end, I have an emergency color balance node, but I usually don't touch it. The whole thing goes back to linear, so Blender, thanks to AgX, displays it correctly. And that's it. Look at the difference. Before, flat and boring. After, depth, atmosphere, and texture. The whole process took us a moment, and the effect is cinematic. You can find the link to the workflow in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.